Sugar has been our number one dietary enemy for so many years, and yet the truth may be sweeter than it seems. Can it really destroy your life? Is it really the poison that people are supposed to be so afraid of?
So cancer is associated with overweight, and the overweight might be produced by sugar in combination.
So it's not the sugar itself which causes the disease, but it's the effect of being overweight.
It's the weight increment, yes.
For many years, the scientists and the diet professionals have demonized sugar and called it sweet poison.
Try to figure out why that's the case, because we all take a lot of glucose in our diet, and we're worried that if you target growth factor receptors in these tumors, you will not be able to prevent their growth efficiently, because they'll still be able to survive and grow possibly just with glucose alone.
According to Dr. Michael Greger's research, sugar is not the cause of these diseases, and it is healthy in moderate quantities. We need to look for the hidden fats. Fat is one of the world's largest causes of death and disease.
You may know that many of the foods we're looking at today contain hidden fat, but you might not realize exactly how much.
The low-carb movement keeps coming back over and over again in different faces, and each of them swears, "Oh no, I'm not like the last low-carb. No, we tweak it a little bit. But I mean, they're very similar manifestations, and of course they sell lots of books. Any book that says bacon is good for you is going to sell a lot of books. But what troubles me is, this isn't an academic debate. This isn't an academic discussion. Who's right, who's wrong? It's people are going to listen to these and actually hurt themselves, hurt their families. People are going to die.
People tend to eat fatty foods every single hour, and they consume more than 100 grams of fat every single day. Nothing is better than a double cheeseburger or some cookies made with butter and a high quantity of oil.
2 slices of pepperoni pizza can dump the equivalent of 5 pats of butter into your system. If you're a pizza lover, loading up on veggies and skipping the heavy meats can help bring the fat calories down.
Even youngsters could easily die or get sick when they're on a high-fat diet. 1 packet of crisps contains over 30 grams of fat, and it's way too much. Everybody loves to eat crisps all day long, or grab a nice burger, or even a steak or fatty red meat. Butter and margarine are exactly the same. It is all because people are addicted to fatty foods. The world is becoming obese, and 95% of the diets fail due to their high-fat, low-carb agendas. Unfortunately, fat is found on every street corner. Nothing is good about this. Researchers have tested rats to see how dangerous and highly addictive fat really is. The rats had to choose between high-fat foods and some extremely addictive drugs. By the end of the day, the rats binged on these high-fat meals, as they have hardly even touched the drugs, as their brain was entirely hooked on fatty foods. That research indicates that fat is the most addictive chemical in the universe, and possibly also the most dangerous one.
The endothelium is directly involved in peripheral vascular disease, stroke, heart disease, diabetes, insulin resistance, chronic kidney failure, tumor growth, metastases, venous thrombosis, blood clots, and severe viral infectious diseases. Dysfunction of the vascular endothelium is thus a hallmark of human diseases. Researchers found that low-fat meals tended to improve endothelial function, and high-fat meals tended to worsen endothelial function. And this goes for animal fat as well as for isolated plant fats, sunflower oil in this case.
If researchers are aware that fat is the most dangerous food component in the world, then why do people still tend to eat fat and believe that most fats are good? Here's the big fat surprise. It's all because the food industries have bribed doctors and other food professionals into making us believe that sugar is the culprit. That is where such diets as paleo or the ketogenic diet have sold their lies to everyone. Fat isn't good for you. Yes, it is necessary in your body in a small amount, but no fat is honestly good for your body and its functions. Fat is fat, and it's not back. It never will be back. It is dangerous, and lots of researchers have proved it to us. Today around 15% of the world's adult population are obese. Many more are overweight. Research indicates that fat is the cause of obesity, while excess sugar causes other issues which are mostly smaller. This is a killer burger. One burger has around 700 calories and it can reach up to 45 grams of fat per serving. This amount of fat could be burnt if you run very fast for about 40 minutes. Now let's talk about the types of fat which we should avoid as much as we can. There are two fats which could kill a person very easily. One is saturated fat and the other is trans fat, or in other words, the processed fat.
It's the type of fat that spells double trouble for your heart.
Trans fat lowers your HDL, which is your good cholesterol, and it raises your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol. So all in all, trans fat increases your risk of heart disease.
Manufactured by adding hydrogen to vegetable oil to make it solid at room temperature, trans fat extends the shelf life of food, such as certain baked goods, chips, refrigerated dough, non-dairy creamer, margarine, and some fried foods.
Both saturated and trans fats are found inside our daily meal. Whether we eat a light snack, or a packet of crisps, or a bar of chocolate, packaged french fries and onion rings, pastries, fatty red meat, hamburgers, hot dogs, or in other words, junk food has a lot of fat inside it.
What we found that we think is significant in the obese compared to the lean subjects is that these particular amino acids, these 3 among 20, were elevated in the blood of the obese subjects, as well as several of the breakdown products of this little gang of amino acids.
Research has shown us that when we eat lots of fat, we get sick and we eventually die from excess fat in your body. There is a long list of brain diseases caused by fat. The most common risks caused by fatty foods are dementia, stroke, Alzheimer's, and the fatty addiction itself, which causes us to crave for a double burger with cheese or a fatty slice of steak. According to the Harvard Medical School, fat can also cause a long list of diseases related to the arteries and the heart. First of all, fat can block your arteries by creating a wall which could block up your arteries, causing a massive heart attack which could eventually lead to heart disease. Fat can also cause cardiovascular disease. Now back to the comparison between sugar and fat. The pancreas produces one of the most important hormones in our body, and it's called insulin. The benefit of natural sugar, which isn't processed, is that it activates your body and it also gives your cells life. In other words, your cells cannot function without sugar. A person could handle with only 20 grams of white sugar a day, meaning that 3 cups of Coca-Cola in one day could already cause some damage. When the insulin becomes extremely high, due to your white sugar intake, the body becomes unbalanced and creates a massive blood spike, which could eventually lead to insulin resistance and therefore diabetes. Once the quantity of glycerol in your body becomes high, the insulin starts getting higher due to the glycerol being a harsh sugar compound. This could ultimately cause diabetes, just like any other sugar can do the same. But above all, fat is the ultimate cause of cancer. Cancer is one of the largest threats in the universe. Millions of people die from cancer each and every single year.
Belly fat makes more of your cells divide. You might think it's just sitting there doing nothing, but it's actually constantly pumping hormones like estrogen throughout your body.
Divide and conquer. Know what I mean?
This encourages other cells in your body to divide much more than they usually would, which is a typical sign of cancer.
Increased cell division leading to cancer. Check.
Belly fat cells also kick out loads of chemicals called cytokines.
Scared of a few chemicals, are we? Oh, diddums.
Too many cytokines are bad news. They can cause long-lasting inflammation, which can also lead to cancer.
Oops. Did I break something?
What are you going to do about this? The fat conspiracy is influencing all of us. Some of the research cannot even be reliable. 95% of the diets fail. It's time to resist the piece of bacon. Fat is ruining our health and it is slowly killing us all. We need to stop the fat immediately. Millions die every year from fat-related diseases. We crave for fat and we love it. We love it and then we think it is healthy. Stop immediately and think twice before you consume these fatty foods. And remember, fat is a matter of life and death. It is up to you to survive this plague. If we don't eat it, we beat it.